So we got an update here on the Porsche 959. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the picture and you're like, what the heck is going on? But like a lot of Tamiya kits are, if one little part is off a little bit, the whole kit's going to be off. So sometimes it takes a little nudging here and there to get everything lined up and to stay in place. And I also think a little part of the back square frame might have been a little warped. So in order to make sure all the pins are in the holes where they belong and glued properly, I'm not afraid to use not a vise, but a clamp. So I use these clamps all the time. I've been using them on models for years, and between those and actually some other clamps I have, I just apply enough pressure to hold everything in place while it dries, usually for several days, until I have time to get back to it. And then I check it once again, and if everything's where it belongs, then it's fine. But it looks a little more scarier than it is. But it's only I like these clamps because they're large. But and of course I use them on other things, fixing things around the house and making things out of wood. But sometimes, they can have a gentle touch, and the yellow part is kind of like a rubber urethane type material, so it's not too stiff. So, but that's what we're looking at there. And then now to the video. This is an update on the Porsche, just to show you how it's coming along. Haven't done anything on the icebreaker ship. It requires a lot of masking before painting, and I'm still working on that. So without the mask, I'm not able to paint anything, so there's no real work being done on that until I do that. So this is the chassis, more or less, that I started working on. I got the engine in there, the wheels and everything, all that's taken care of. It does have a couple of exhaust parts. I'm going to go in here with some detail painting and touch everything up, but I've got it all in there. So that's where that's at. And I'm still happy with the kit. It's just a typical Tamiya kit. It's very fussy in the sense that everything has to be exactly where it belongs. Because if one part is off, every part after that's going to be a little bit off, and it'll be nothing but a pain. So, but they're very exacting. You got to put the parts exactly where they go. So I'm happy with that. And then this is the body. Hasn't changed much, but I did do the blackout around the windows. So I do that with a Sharpie. Of course, there's a typical Sharpie. And then, or you could use this Sharpie, which is good for covering a lot of area at one time. This one has a better point on it, obviously, but sometimes when you're following a fine line, especially, let's say you're doing, the edge up here, if you can do it with a fat one, you're going to get a better control. My hands shake a little bit. My eyesight isn't the best. So while I used to paint that or mask it off, but not anymore. I just use a Sharpie usually. And there's actually a Sharpie that I have. I believe it's a Sharpie. Yeah, this is a Sharpie. Another one that I have 3 of them. This one is even tinier, and you can see. So if you have those 3 in your arsenal, they can come in handy for little things also, just for a quick black touch-up or whatever you need it for. But I do use them to go around the windows on cars like this where there's no chrome or nothing like that. So the interior has gone along. They want you to paint the interior black, and as I've mentioned before, I don't like black interiors. You can't see anything in them. So I've done this with a light gray. It's a military color, an AS part number, and Tamiya paint. And then these accents here, which are separate parts, are painted in Tamiya black. So, and then I'm working on the dash, and I'll be putting the dash in there. It's very simple. There's not a lot in here to do anyway, so it's fine. And then there's other small parts. I got the wheels painted. I finally decided to make them gloss, and they came out really, really nice. So this is simply Tamiya flat black with a clear coat on it. So they've been sitting around a week, so they should be okay from fingerprints. But they came out really nice. Most of the other parts are just small parts. It's getting near the end, so I think once the suspension is done and the interior is in and I get the glass in, there's not going to be too many parts left. So I'm looking forward to that. I really, so far, I've enjoyed the build, and we'll see what it looks like on the next update.